Good morning guys, James here from Sunseeker Southampton and down. Welcome to Southampton Boat Show 2022. We're on the Sunseeker stand this morning. We're going to have a look around a brand new Predator 65. She's behind me here on the stand, this one. Soft launched here in the UK earlier in the year. This is boat 432. Only the second one that we've actually had through our company, such as a new product which has just been hugely popular. Lots of pre-orders into the American market. And it's great to finally have one here at the show to bring to general public and boating enthusiasts here on the south coast. So this boat is, as you see her, currently available. Early stages of the boat show here, so plenty of opportunity to come down, check her out in the flesh over the next few days if you think she could be of serious interest. Just walking down the side of the pontoon here to try and take in the finishes. So she's a rail white hull, as you can see, classic Sunseeker. Black anti-foul down there. We've got a grey hull band, hard to see with the pontoon here, but something a little different. Works quite nicely with these black windows. And then up top we have a painted silver roof structure, and then upgrade on the top itself there. All the nav kit is painted in LSA jet black there. You see beautiful open array 4 kilowatt Garmin open array scanner there. So spec'd up, this boat, as you see her, she's coming in at just under £2.8 million ex-tax. She's a pretty high spec. We have a gyro system, the largest engine option, which is the IPS 1350s, pair of 1,000 horsepower Volvo engines, getting on top speed approaching 40 knots. She's a very quick boat on the water, awesome to drive. A couple of tours on the channel of the boat next door, which is her sister ship, the 65 Sport Yacht. She is an identical boat in every way other than the outside driving position, and then we'll have a couple of little changes in the saloon up top we'll see in a sec. So just before we head on board, I'm just going to show you the garage arrangement. So this is exactly the same in the back, geared up on this particular one with the 345 Williams, as you can see here on the roller recovery system there, and then there's some space down the side here for paddle boards, go cycles, that kind of thing. A couple of stainless steel handrails there. When the platform is submerged, they drop into the deck here, and that gives you then a nice set of stairs here underneath the platform mechanism to help get in and out. And you can see there the winch control for the tender system. Platform itself on the back, that'll lift 450 kilos as well, so you've got the option to stick a jet ski on for those wanting to carry 2 toys, or put the tender on the back, and then you've got plenty of space to use that garage for all sorts of other water sports equipment. So if we head back round, you can see obviously great access onto both side decks here from the platform. Using synthetic teak on this boat allows us to have these very swoopy cool steps, and they look fantastic in the dark. There is a tour on my channel of the 65 Sport Yacht in the dark, shows you how the LED lighting around the side decks etc works into the evening. There's an option also for RGB colour lighting in the cockpit at the back here for those of you who want to do something a bit different. So let's head on, take a look around. Passerelle comes out of the step here on the starboard side for those of you in the med, and as you come up top you'll see here controls for passerelle, lighting, garage system etc. Lovely big stainless steel door there on the back. And on this particular boat, just scanning around in the cockpit here, you'll see we have the optional C-shaped seating area here port side, so there's no access to the deck this side. So just to explain how that works, so this is a standard bench seat arrangement in the middle centre line, and then you have the option for a corner seat running round here to give you more social seating. Of course these boats are all built customer spec or for our own stock in what is typically the most common configurations, so you can see here how that works. Obviously large opening teak tables, so this section folds away onto that one to give you more deck space when required, and then you've got the room for a couple of director's chairs out here if you need the extra. So we do a couple of other options. You can have a wet bar set up in here, or the standard configuration with a pair of bar stools, and then you've obviously got a little bar section there leading into the deck saloon inside. Over on this side is the optional crew cabin arrangement. So if we just pop the door up, show you how this works. These are very much owner-operated yachts, so the reality is this is not generally used, certainly in the UK or the Med, as a crew cabin. It is a workable area. There's a loo at the bottom here. We've got laundry facilities in the cupboards. I'm not going to climb down there today, as we say, we've done some tours on these before, but typically used more for the laundry and storage with perhaps the ad hoc captain if you were down somewhere like Ibiza wanting to run away for a few days to Formentera, etc. You might take a captain just to give you a little bit more relaxation. So on the back here, this is an optional second station, so we have a bow thruster and a joystick control there for docking. If you don't take the crew cabin option, this becomes a fixed moulding, and then we have a cupboard in the front, and then potentially space to still put a griddle in the top without a fold down top on it. So that is then potentially a little sort of ad hoc wet bar area, and we can even do a separate deck access hatch in here, an additional cost to still get into that void down below, and then you can still use it as a sort of lazarette storage area. Looking up top here, so a couple of things to point out. This is a retractable sun awning here, moulded into the hardtop structure, and then we've got some very cool LED lighting up above us. Quick scan round onto the side decks. You'll see we've got little side door access gates there, synthetic teak running all the way down the deck, so this is an upgrade over the standard white non-slip. If I just spin the camera around, you can see how tall these windows are. It's absolutely vast, the glass on this. Loads of natural light in downstairs. We've got a little opening window here at the helm. And come forward, it's lovely big wide decks, feels very safe. You can see the big bulwarks with the Sonance speakers. There's loads of Sonos system on the boat, so we've got zones everywhere, including up here on the bow. You can see the seating area here, centerline, and forward of that the center sun pad. Lots of little detail you can see with the shark fin type piping on the cushions. Two little center sections in here lift up to give you folding backrest. Upgrade on the anchor, so we've got 40 kilo anchor, 60 meters chain, just showing you in the locker here, sectioned off as always, so we've got room to store fenders, and then the anchor chain itself. Freshwater deck wash system on this one as well, a little outlet point there. Just try and scan around so you can see that racy look versus the boat next door, say being the sport yacht with the little helm outside. We can do the colours on this hull structure here are factory standard, so you can have a silver or a black, or if you want something really clinical, as you can see on this one, this is done in a plain white. There is an option to paint if you so wish. Just talking to a client at the moment. This section up here in the black to then match the roof mullions and that nav kit up top, so you can give a very unique look to the boat if you wish. So if we come forward, let's start our tour inside. Obviously a main deck saloon. There is a downstairs deck option to give a little bit more seating up top, but this is the standard layout as you see her here. Galley on the port side when you first come in. Electric shutter window system here that comes up vertically, and then you've got a 3-stack door here to allow this big opening. The main change over the boat that we covered earlier in the year, which went off to the south of France, is this large style fridge freezer. So rather than the low level countertop running through here, this one has been configured differently. We have a large, you see, stainless fridge there, some shelves in there as well, so that's the freezer setup and the wine cooler. I say this is now the standard layout unless you spec the boat with the low unit. And then forward of that we have the seating area with the option for a T in the high-low cupboard there. So that's a 55-inch LED TV. Standard would be out on a fixed plinth. This one obviously is on an electric rise and fall mechanism there, just gives you that view back out of the windows when you're sat here just admiring what's going on around you. So big upgrade in the galley, so we've got things like the usual dishwasher, 4-burner Miele top, lots of storage in these cupboards. We've widened the bar area here, which has given deeper storage in the units there. Early boats being a little bit narrower in here. It has encroached a little bit into the saloon, but I think it works quite nicely in this one. Mixture obviously colours, so we've got some sprayed lacquer on a satin finish up top there, and this beautiful eucalyptus tiger print almost wood matched up grain on all the cupboards. She is fantastic, this one. So coming forward, then we have the main deck saloon area for seating, and you can see how big the glass windows are. Just sitting down here do a quick spin round at my eye level to show just exactly what we can see. Obviously great viewing of the TV over there opposite. Big aircon system. We've got an upgrade on the Jenny to 17.5 kilowatts, which of course run things like the gyro system, etc. So lower helm. This has a premium of everything, so lots of carbon fibre everywhere. You can see it on the dashboard here, it's up on the roof, we'll look at in a sec. Two big screens here, so these are 16-inch Garmin MFDs, link into the Volvo IPS system. So boat standard is with the 1200 IPS. Everything we built so far configured with the 1350s, a little bit faster out of the water. I think definitely worth the upgrade. Scanning around here, you can see we covered these in an earlier tour, the little multifunction Garmin displays there. They have a little jog dial down here by the helm, and you can see just flicking through what they display. Very much like a modern car. As part of the premium package on the AV, we've got a iPad mini there, which gives the connectivity into the 4G system and control the Sonos. This is our CM8 monitoring panel, does tanks, alarm systems, and some digital switching of systems on the boat. And then of course controls here for the side window next to the helm and the large carbon roof that we're just going to open up here, let some morning sunshine in. So this of course is a beautiful carbon. Try and show up on the camera there. It's an exposed weave, gloss lacquer on that. It's absolutely stunning. There are mesh panels to keep the sun out that go over the top of these for the warm days down in the Med. Just while that's opening up, I'll scan around to show you how big this one-piece glass windscreen. It's rumoured to be one of the largest single-piece glass expanses out there in the industry, and it is truly magnificent sat here at the helm, just to give you a beautiful view out when you're running the yacht up at speed. Very, very little intrusion, apart from these little mullions here to keep the roof up. So around us here we've got the multifunction steering wheel. You can see slightly different to some of the other boats in the range. So we've got a range of buttons here to control the nav systems. And then up forward here, slightly confusing with the cover, it is in fact only a bow thruster. There isn't room on the stern to put a stern thruster on these due to how the platform mechanism works, but obviously with a joystick not needed whatsoever. And so of course Volvo's joystick IPS system, we've covered these lots before, and it has the dynamic positioning as well to hold position when you're waiting for the lock or the fuel key, etc. Everything's very nicely to hand. This is a little jog wheel again for the two top screens there, so it very much feels like being in a sports car up here. Let's head on down, check out the interior. So this particular one configured as a 3 cabin. There are a multitude of different layouts down here, but we'll try and cover off a few just as we have a look round. This is cabin number 2 on the boat, which is the VIP guest forward, centerline double as you can see. Nice little vanity station there, wardrobe, high level locker boxes there up underneath the decks. Large TVs, etc. So full AV system throughout, so Sonos in all of the cabins as well as the Sonance speakers. This is the ensuite heads for this particular cabin. You can just see scanning around, we've got electric towel rails up on the bulkhead there. Big showers there with a rain shower in the roof, as well as a secondary handset down there. Electric vacuum flush Tecma toilets. Lots of storage under the decks here. Covered those in one of the earlier tours, so I'm not going to do it now, but underneath here is plenty of room for things like suitcases and more long-term provision storage. Over on the starboard side here, this is a twin cabin with 2 single beds, as you see. I can do an infill cushion in here if you wish to make it into a converting double. And you can see little leather detailing up there on the headboard. Opening port lights, of course, as well as the aircon system, some AV, and then hidden behind the door here is, of course, an ensuite. There are no shortage of bathrooms on this boat. She has actually got, in fact, 4, would you believe? Very clever use of mirrors. You can see just coming down the stairs here makes the boat feel huge. Coming across here on the opposite side of the lobby here is a day heads. You can see just bulkhead here, so it's very much just a loo arrangement for guests on board for the day. And then we come down into what is the optional Grand Master setup. So various configurations in these, we've done a few tours to cover them off. There is the option from the back bulkhead across there into the master cabin itself then to configure this particular area in a number of different ways. For owner operators, this is generally the more commonly seen finish, with the Grand Master gives us this vanity station with some storage, still with the huge cupboard over this side, which can be a refrigerator, additional laundry facilities, very much down to personal taste how you wish to use it. Done a bottle store in there as well for a particular client. And then we come back into the master. So centerline, very quiet in here, down in the depths of the boat. And as with most yachts this sort of size, we've got the storage one side and then an open space to do as you wish. So standard would be with a little single seat and a sort of vanity desk there. We can do a straight sofa, or as you see configured here with the 2 breakfast seats and the table. Again, big AV up on the wall there. And then the bathroom itself. Lots of LED lighting, of course, all dimmable to give you a softer light in the evenings. And you can see great big shower stalls there. So we're carrying 3,500 litres of fuel on the boat, gives a range of around 300 nautical miles, 800 litres of water, with the option for a water maker for those of you that want to spend extended time on board. We're just over 20.5 metres tip to tip, which means you typically fit onto a 19 metre mooring in the Med. And with a displacement of just under 38 tonnes half load, she is a proper bit of kit. Very good sea boat. And then just to finish off, let's have a quick look around the engine room. So in through the deck head here, as we mentioned earlier, depending on configuration that you choose to go for in the crew setup, will dictate whether we access that forward area either through the deck or also from this area. Climb down the ladder here. To excuse a few bits down here as the boat's obviously in boat show mode. You can see forward of us the gyro system. Climb around some boxes here. So there's your generator up on the bulkhead there, say 17.5 kilowatt upgrade. And this is the crew space behind here. So we can run this to say as a transverse area through here for storage. And you can access it just from the engine room here, or we can put that secondary deck locker in. Although most boats built so far have run with that crew cabin setup. It is obviously quite compact down here. Had a couple of comments on the earlier tours, but the reality is in a modern boat, not really as an owner spending much time down here. That's generally what your maintenance company does. But I am able to just squeeze around the engines here, certainly for doing checks and what have you. Hot water tank and hydraulic systems tucked down the back there here, starboard side. You can see the passerelle set up above us, fire flaps and what have you on the engine vents there. So the boat is largely compliant with charter spec from the outset. Not too much needed to further upgrade to turn into a commercial yacht for those that require it. And you can see down the middle here, in terms of checks, easy to get to weed baskets there for generators and aircon and engines, etc. IPS obviously have the pods which are tucked down the back there. If we just work our way back down here, you can see all of the switching, and there's the pod systems themselves. Down the back, little jack shaft there to connect the engines to the pods. Obviously allows us then to have everything tucked down behind the garage. So there you have it. So pretty good look around this one this morning. She is available. Of course, we have another 8 days here at the show, so if you'd like to come down, plenty of opportunity to check her out in the flesh. Contact details always, it's james@sunseekersouthampton.com, or the mobile is +44 7747 686 587. Hope you've enjoyed a look round with us, and we look forward to seeing you down here soon.